Welcome to the Business Empowerment Podcast, the show that keeps you in the know with what you need to know in business and technology and for yourself so you can grow. Welcome to the show. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm your host, Rob House, and my co-host, Wilton Rogers, got insight for miles. Miles and miles. We'll give you what you need to know. Get ready for the Business Empowerment Podcast.
Yo, what's up? What's up?
What's going on, Will? Thank you for having me here. I'm so excited to be here.
Joe, it is great to have you. I know we just had Rob. He'll be back in a minute. How you been, man?
Oh my gosh, life is amazing. I'm so blessed. It's so easy. You know, they say it's 3 times easier to be negative than it is to be positive. Right. So I make an effort every single day when I get up to focus on what I'm grateful for, the blessings in my life. And if I focus on that, I just feel more joy. I feel higher levels of energy, more vibration, better vibrations. And if not, I'm just in the default. And the default is not fun for me.
I hear you. I'm the same way. You know, I think lately, especially being on here on LinkedIn, meeting some real positive people and keeping a circle positive. Waking up in the morning, giving thanks, being grateful, and then you turn on your computer and you following people that are just so positive, man, it makes the day so much easier. In fact, that's why I turned off Facebook because, you know, it was just every time I jumped on there, it just felt like it wasn't, you know, I didn't have control of who I was following. Now I have control of who I can follow. It just seems so much easier, man. So yeah, that's great, man. That's great. I think we got Rob back. There he is.
Listen,
Welcome back.
I'm a duck. I went underneath of the technical tornado, and I'm using my phone now. See if I can get under this storm here, man.
It already sounds better, man.
Yeah.
Much better. Much better.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. We're rock and rolling now.
Yeah.
Now let's hope I don't get a phone call. What's up, Joe?
That's really funny. That's really funny. You know, yeah. So I have a separate phone for Clubhouse because people call me on my main phone and it knocks the whole thing up. So it just So when I do certain things, like I want to go on the internet, I use that phone. So this way nobody can interrupt my flow. Once I'm flowing, I don't want anyone to interrupt my flow because otherwise I won't grow.
There you go. There you go.
See, listen, Joe is already dropping nuggets. Like before he even got on the show in the green room, he's helping us understand how to up our internet speed game. And he's now dropping more nuggets. Joe, you got some nuggets today, man.
For those of you that are listening right now, here's a quick tip. If you want to know how fast your internet is, go to fast.com and check your internet speed. And in the comments, let us know how fast your internet speed. Mine's 1,000 megabytes per second. But go ahead and put yours in the comments below. I'd love to see how fast your internet is. I'll actually put a screenshot of my internet speed there. And if you guys want to put a screenshot of yours, that could be a fun little activity that people do.
Yeah, let's do that. Fast.com. In fact, I did it earlier and I told you that I was probably at a 40-some.
Yeah.
And then you asked, you know, are you plugged into the internet? I thought I was plugged into the internet, but for some reason I wasn't. My computer wasn't. I went from 41 to what is it now? Let's see, 91.
You doubled. You doubled your business. You doubled your business.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. That's insane. You know, babe, we got the slowest internet on LinkedIn. We got to change this. That's a problem. Okay.
We're gonna change it. But the first step to change in business, in life, in marketing, in personal development is awareness. That's the first step to change. You might be suffering, not knowing, hey, what do I do? Hang on a second. We need some awareness. Before strategy, you need awareness. Where are you and where do you want to go?
Right.
If you want success on LinkedIn and you don't even know that you're a lurker. You think that you're such a big influencer, but really you're just watching. You got to first self-identify and say, hey, I'm a lurker or I'm a dabbler. I'm dabbling. I'm not consistent. I don't have a strategy. But once you do have a strategy, once you know that you don't have a strategy, now you can go seek out that strategy and you can go from a lurker to an influencer.
Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that chain. because that's what we're trying to do, Joe.
Influencer.
And this is what you do.
Yeah, if somebody doesn't know. Yeah, for those that don't know who I am, my name is Joe Apfebaum. I'm the CEO of Ajax Union. I also have a company called Evergreen. Been in this business for 12 years, running Ajax Union. When I started the company, I didn't know all the things that Will and Rob know about business automation, about systems and processes, all this type of stuff. I didn't know. I just wanted to grow a company. But at a certain level, I got stuck. Why? Because I'm just one person. I'm just one person, and one person without technology is really held back. And so understanding if you have a team, your problems will multiply with every new person that you have. So if you don't have your automation in order, you're not going to succeed. People look at Evergreen, our company that trains hundreds and hundreds of people that Will and Rob are a part of. People look at that company, they're like, how are you able to onboard so many customers? How are you able to be able to do the things that you do? It's because of automation. It's because we put automation in place. Everything from how to use LinkedIn, how to do prospecting, how to do networking, how to build relationships, how to send an email sequence. So if somebody wants something, somebody wants information, they download an ebook, they get a sequence of emails. If they click on something, you get a different sequence of emails. Everything in life needs to have a checklist, needs to have an automation to it. I read a book called the Checklist Manifesto, and they had a whole story there about how there were hospitals that people were just dying at record numbers, and they were wondering what's going on. And they implemented checklists for the nurses, and they lowered the mortality rate by a very, very big percentage.
Didn't they start washing their hands more, Joe?
I think they were washing their hands more, but I think there was a whole checklist they went through, but they had a checklist to work off. Same thing with pilots. There were pilots that were dying in record numbers. Yeah. And when they implemented a checklist system, which is part of automation, part of systems and processes, they changed lives. So, simple tip for people, like if you want to take your life and your business to the next level, you need more awareness. And part of that awareness is speaking to people like Wilton and Rob, if you're looking for business automation, and speaking to me if you're looking for improving your marketing, whether it's marketing automation or whether it's improving your LinkedIn game. And, we all have blind spots. We have blind spots in our relationships. We have blind spots in our health. I know that, Rob, your thing is you want a million healthy people or a billion healthy people.
Yeah, we'll go with the B word.
We'll go with the B word. And so we have blind spots. And if you don't speak to somebody that can help you see what you can't see, if you're inside the jar, you cannot read the label. That's
I used to say, man, you can't see the picture when you're in the frame, but I like that.
I like that one. Yeah.
I like that one. Good.
Yeah. So we need those mirrors. We need those sounding boards. We need those people in our life, the trusted advisors that can help us take our life and our business to the next level. So I'm always curious to hear from people what their number one issues are with their growth in their business. And when I start asking questions, the right questions, the solution is usually obvious. Most people are looking for solutions. Instead of looking for solutions, ask better questions. Because if you get the solution to the wrong question, you're not going to scale, you're going to fail.
Right.
You guys better stop that and rewind now.
Right.
Yeah, because that's big. You don't go over that one.
That's right. That's right. I think people have to understand what you've done is like you created this vision of what you wanted. It's like, okay, you create your checklist, you build your logic, and you figure out, okay, now how can I speed this up and automate it? And you did it. But it came from your vision, right? It came from just an idea. You start putting your checklist together. You say, okay, this is what I need for my company, the A, B, C. If we get this email, I need it for do this, 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 and this. And you figure out how to really systemize that and streamline it throughout the process. Am I correct?
Yeah. I mean, you always have to start with the end in mind. I think it was Stephen Covey who wrote the book, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. He didn't say highly efficient people. He said highly effective people, because there's a difference in business and in life between being efficient and saving time, saving money, and being effective and making money. I'm not trying to save any money in business, because I believe every business everything that I spend in business is really an investment. I'm making an investment. Sometimes my investment pans out, and sometimes it doesn't pan out, and I learn something from my investment. So whether I invest my time, my energy, I'm not trying to be more efficient. I'm trying to be more effective. And part of being more effective, he says that one of the 7 habits is start with the end in mind. I'm sure you guys heard that before.
Yeah.
Start with the end in mind. What does that mean to start with the end in mind? If you want to build a business, and when I ask most business owners how much money you want to make, you know what they say? They say as much as possible.
Yeah.
That's not a vision. That's a wish.
Right.
That's not a goal. That's a wish. I wish that God will take care of me. God will take care. He's already taken care of you. You know, God's already taken care of you.
You wake up. You wake
You're
up.
alive. You're alive. You can listen to this podcast. You're alive. The thing is, you may not know where you want to go to because you might be thinking that I'm thinking too small, or you might be afraid that you're thinking too big. But I always tell people, just set a goal. I was just speaking to somebody just now. We had a whole strategy session in their business, and we looked at their goal, and we realized that their goal was a little bit too small. A little bit too small. And how do you know if your goal is too small? If you're not feeling uncomfortable from your goal, from your vision. When I wrote down my vision that I want to help 1,000 hungry entrepreneurs go from frustration to motivation, I felt a little uncomfortable. Because 1,000 people, can I really impact 1,000 people, really impact them in a deep way? And if I looked at the people that I've serviced over 1,100 companies at Ajax Union, but when I wrote that goal down, I had no idea how I would be able to get to 1,000 customers. I barely had 5 customers when I started the business, barely 5. And
How long did it take?
Well, it took me about 5 years to really get there to the 1,000-person level. But what I realized is that that's not the business that I even wanted to have. I completely changed my business. When you start your business, you have a vision of what you think is going to be so amazing. But once you get into the business, you're 5 years into it, you start realizing, I don't know if this is what I want. And so I changed my vision, and it's okay to change your vision. A renegotiated agreement is not a broken agreement. And a vision is an agreement that you have with yourself. You make an agreement that you're going to go after something with everything you have. A lot of people don't want to be all in their life and all in their business because they're afraid they're going to fail. And if you're afraid you're going to fail and you don't go all in, that itself is the ultimate failure, not being 100% in your marriage, in your life, in your business, in your friendship with yourself. Just be all in, have passion. Yeah. I always say this about rock stars, and you, Rob, are a rock star. Will, you're a rock star. And why are rock stars so attractive? Is it because they're beautiful? No. Is it, in your case, yes, but is it because they're beautiful? No, that's a model. That's not a rock star. Why is a rock star so attractive? Is it because they have the perfect voice? A lot of times rock stars they have a grungy voice, or they have a squeaky voice, or it's because they're 100% in on stage. They give everything they have. It's not what people say, it's what people make you feel that you remember. So when you're in a concert, when you're on stage, when you're listening to a LinkedIn Live, how do I make you feel? How do you feel? Because we're feeling. Human beings are feeling machines. We're always feeling. And so what's going to drive us to get results is going to be what we feel. And that vision needs to get us excited. It needs to, if you want to, the law of attraction. Have you heard of the law of attraction?
Oh, yeah. Law of attraction is like the law of action to me. I hear you.
Yeah, it's the law of satisfaction.
Hey.
The law of attraction. There's a Netflix documentary called The Secret. I'm sure everyone heard of The Secret. It's a book. It's a Netflix documentary also, and I highly recommend you guys watch it on Netflix if you haven't watched it yet. It's a fun thing to watch with your family. And basically, what it says is that what you're feeling right now is what you're attracting. That's right. If you're feeling depressed, if you're feeling angry, if you're feeling lack, if you're feeling scarcity, you're going to attract scarcity. 80% of people are living paycheck to paycheck. And it's not because there's no opportunity. It's because they are living the default. And the default is it's easier to survive than it is to thrive. It's easier. 3 times harder to be positive than it is to be negative. It's an effort to get out of bed and drink water. It's an effort to have affirmations and positive visualizations. It's an effort to sit there and call people when you get all this rejection and put something out there when crickets, you don't get enough likes and you don't get enough posts, but you're still putting yourself out there because you're judging yourself. the key is to commit to not just following the crowd, to commit to not being the default, to commit to being uncomfortable, and growth is what living is about. Progress equals happiness. And if you're not growing, you're dying.
That's it.
And that's
progress.
That's progress.
Progress equals happiness, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, essentially, progress means that you're moving. And so the goal is to be moving, but to be moving in the right direction. Sometimes, and like very often, we start going in the wrong directions because we're looking at so many other things, right? We get inspired. We have models to follow, but we're supposed to follow the models, not try to become them. How does one, through all the noise and distractions, right now we're in a race for attention span with the goldfish. I think it's like 3.5 seconds for them and 3 for us. We're losing just by a bit. So it's hard to get focused with everything. How can one really curate and find who they are to really bring themselves out to be that authentic?
How do you figure out who
the person
you are?
We're talking about?
So I'll tell you a little story about myself. So when I started my business, I didn't know that I was afraid of public speaking. I didn't know that I was afraid of writing. I didn't know that I was afraid of networking. I didn't know that I was afraid of social media. I didn't have the awareness that I was afraid of it. I just thought that all my excuses were valid. I'm a private person. I'm a one-on-one type of guy. I don't have an ego. I'm not that arrogant speaker. I'm not the arrogant, egotistic speaker that puts himself out there. Look at that guy. He's pompous. But the reality was I was just afraid that people would judge me. That's the truth. And when Google approached me to become a certified Google trainer, I was like, oh, well, I have to do this because they're going to put 80 people that will pay me to speak in front of these business owners and I'll close more business. And I had a vision to get to 1,000 companies that I can service. And I was hungry. And I said, I'm just going to do it anyway. And I was shaking. And at a certain point, I had to learn how to get over that and use the fear and use the anxiety and the nervousness and learn coping mechanisms. But at a certain point, I said, you know what? Why don't I create a personal brand? Let me figure out who I am. If I really want to be behind a message 100%, I got to figure out who I am. Who is Joe Apfebaum? So I started speaking to coaches and hiring people to try to create my brand. And what I realized is that nothing resonated with me. So I realized you can't create a brand for a person. You got to figure out who you are. Mm-hmm. You got to discover who you are. You have to discover who you are to your core. Who are you? It's not just about what you do. It's not just about what you do. I'm not just a mailman. I'm not just a father. I'm not just a CEO. It's not just, you can't just define it by your roles because your roles won't define you as a human being because your roles change in life. Maybe you're a father today. Maybe you're a husband today. Maybe you're a CEO today. But tomorrow you might have a different role. Tomorrow you might be a mail carrier. Tomorrow you might be something else. So what you need to do is instead figure out what your values are.
I like that.
What
are your values? That's a good starting point.
What are your values? What are the things that get you really excited? What are the things that you cannot live without? And every human being has different values. If you take 1,000 words and you circle the words that really resonate with you, there are going to be different words that resonate with you, Rob, that resonate with Will, that resonate with Margot in the comments. Margot left a comment, or with Liz, or with whoever. There's different values. People value different things. That doesn't make you better. That doesn't make you worse. It doesn't matter the color of your skin or your orientation or anything like that. What matters is what in your heart turns you on. What gets you excited? What gets you out of bed? And often we're afraid to even look at that. We're afraid to even define our values, and we end up not defining our values. But once you define your values by looking at yourself, looking at your history, then you got to figure out your strengths. Everybody has different strengths. There's a book called Strength Finder 2.0. There's by the Gallup Center. If you haven't taken the Strength Finders assessment, it's mandatory for all my employees to figure out their strengths because you got to get the right butts in the right seats. And if you don't figure out your strengths, how are you going to know who's an achiever and who's a strategist and who's a relator? And putting people in the right seats is really important. So there are 34 strengths. Figuring out your top 5 will help you get closer to your purpose. Because guess what? People love doing things they're good at.
They do. They do it well too. They do.
People
do the things that they love good.
Right. And people are good at the things that they love. My son is amazing at video games. He sucks at making his bed. He loves playing video games, hates making his bed. So it's just like if you're good at something, you're probably going to enjoy it. And if you enjoy it, it's because you're good at it. So that's typically what ends up happening. So figuring out your strengths will help you get closer to who you are. Now, if you combine your values and your strengths, and then you figure out your why, the fuel that you have, and your why, there are 9 different whys. And I do an exercise in our goal setting masterclass that runs people to figure out their why. And there are 9 reasons why people do things. If you really boil it down and you ask, but why, but why, but why, but why, and you get down to the core, you'll realize that human beings have different reasons for doing things. Some people do things for the greater good. Some people do things because they want to make things better. Some people do things because they want to simplify. So there are 9 different whys that we go through, and figuring out your values, figuring out your strengths, figuring out your why, figuring out your childhood wounds, figuring out your fears, figuring out your agreements, and really getting clear as to your boundaries, figuring out who you are as an individual and discovering that with a coach. I used a coach for 18 months to like kind of discover this, because it takes time and many, many conversations to kind of figure this out. But once you figure this out, now you can come with confidence. People that lack confidence, it's because they lack trust. The word confidence, to confide, means to trust. And self-confidence means I trust that I'm enough. I trust that I trust myself enough to be all in. When I give you this message, I am not holding back. I am 100% sure. I trust myself that what I'm telling you is 100% what I believe. Now, what I believe might not be what you believe, and that's okay. Different people have different beliefs based on their values, based on their experience, based on many different factors, based on what they know or what they don't know, based on their opinions. But at the end of the day, if you want to discover who you are and be all in your business, you got to figure out who you are. And if you don't know who you are, that's okay. At least commit to a vision. At least commit to a vision, and then get people like Will, get people like Rob, get people like myself to support you to take your life and your business to the next level. You can't do all, there's no such thing as a self-made person. People say, Joe, you're self-made. I'm not self-made, I'm self-taught.
That's it. Very well said.
Yes.
Self-taught. And I think that's a huge, that's huge when you say you're not self-made, because it takes an army to create, what's that word? An army to create a village or whatever it is.
Takes a village to raise,
whatever. But that thought will allow you to create that. That thought will allow you to create that. Mm-hmm. And I think that fear, you talk about that fear, I want to go back to that, because that fear, I think, stops a lot of people. I know it stopped me. And then I remember talking to my father one day. He goes, fear, and my grandfather told me this too a while back, but he reminded me, he's like, fear is just a feeling. It can't kill you. It can't physically hurt you. Nothing. So what your problem is that you're afraid what other people are going to say or how they're going to think about you. And once you move past that, you'll be able to grow. You'll be able to move forward. As long as you have the vision and the understanding of where you want to go, fear is not going to stop you. You're going to stop yourself.
A form of fear. I love that. A form of fear is frustration.
Yeah.
A form of fear. There are 10 different types of fears. If you boil down to fear, there are 10 different types of fears. And I studied emotional wellness for several years now to try to figure out my own emotions and how to create empowering emotions.
Shoot, sound like what I did.
Yeah. And
trying to understand yourself, right?
Yeah, trying to understand, like, why do I feel this? Like, what's going on? And ultimately, frustration is a very powerful feeling. That's why I say I want to help 1,000 hungry entrepreneurs go from frustration to motivation. Why did I choose frustration? Why not boredom? Why did I choose frustration? Why not loneliness? There are many different forms of fear that I can latch onto. But the reason I chose specifically frustration is because when you follow your frustration, it will lead you to your biggest fear, your greatest fear. And when you learn through awareness, through meditation, through getting coached, when you learn to overcome your fear, then your greatness shows up. Your greatness is right past your fear.
Yeah.
And so following that frustration, how do you know it's time for you to overcome a fear? It's if you're frustrated. If you're not frustrated, you're not hungry, leave it alone. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. But if you are broke, fix it.
Fix it. And we have a saying about that, about businesses. If they have like processes, if we say, you know, if it's not broke, don't fix it, automate it. So, but if it is broke, don't automate it. Okay, don't automate broken processes. Joe, we're at the midway point of the show, and at the midway point, I asked this very, very powerful, special question. If God came to you and said, Joe, right now you get one wish, sir, one, you can't get more wishes, but you can get one wish. Anything you want right now will be granted. What is that thing that shall be granted, my son?
Yo, God, listen up. I'm going to rap to you because I know you like my flow. All right? Listen up, God. This is my one wish. My one wish from you, God, is to give me more wishes, unlimited wishes. Put it on dishes. Let me show you how I can take all these wishes and start selling them to other people because I want to be your genie. I want to wear this beanie because you know I could be trusted. You know, God, me and you were like bros from the same mothers, from the same brothers. We know we want the best for the people. So hand me all them wishes. I'm the best genie around for shizzle. You know how we're doing it. We're getting motivated, God.
Come on.
Dude, that was the best. That's the best one we had so far, man. That's by far the best.
I like that, man.
That's what I would literally say is, God, listen, hand me the wishes and I can take care of them. Let me be your caretaker and I won't abuse it. I'll make sure that I can give out those wishes. I really feel blessed. I really feel blessed. I have 5 beautiful children. I'm helping so many people, making such a difference. When I wake up in the morning and I know how to engineer joy, I know how to engineer power, freedom, fulfillment. I understand that any pain that I have in my life is there for me to learn and grow from. I have the right support around me. I mean, I have what I need. I have the right resources. I feel great. I have everything that I need. I am feeling so blessed and so like I feel like all the wishes that I've had have come true. Mm-hmm. And you know, I'm just looking forward to the next, 40, 50, 70, 100 years that I can share with my family, with my friends, with the community. It's just, I feel so blessed. I feel like I've already received my wishes. And I just want the people around me to just be happy and to learn the things that I've learned. So for me, if I can educate people, if I can make a difference for other people, if I can continue to give my light to other people, especially to my friends, to my family, to my community, to the people that I interact with, to my clients like you guys, and continue to give, for me, that's a beautiful thing.
Man, that's amazing.
That's good stuff, man.
And all your dreams have come true because you follow through with what you do. You know, you work hard at it. When you have that dream, you're passionate about it. You go for it, and and what you've already created here for us, even for Evergreen, is amazing. And that's, I'm sure that became a thought and then a dream, and all of a sudden it grew into something big. You know?
Overnight success. Most people say it's 10 years in the making. I say it's 20 years in the making. Mm-hmm. It took me a really long. I mean, you have to align all the different things together. Think about personal development. Think about business. Think about marketing. Think about everything that I had to go through in order for me to learn the things that I learned, in order for me to be where I am today. A lot of it's fortune, but the right strategy will save you a decade.
Yeah.
Man, this is good.
That is very true.
You talk about overnight success. Like, it's funny, people don't know. They see the fruit. They think it just came out overnight. They don't realize sometimes it's 10, 20, 30 years. Like, I've been doing music, man, my whole life, 30 years plus.
Right.
But this last, 24-month stretch been the best stretch of my music career. I mean, we were just talking about the movie The Secret, or Lisa Nichols, who's one of the authors of that thing. Like, so Wilton and I are going to be in her conference tomorrow. Wow. I wrote a song. She made that the theme song for the event. Wrote a song for a movie a few months ago. It became the theme song, and it's really about, I heard the story, and I added value to the story, and it happened to be musically pleasant, so it worked. That's like, it used to be 6 degrees of separation. Now it's only 1 because of the internet. So Joe, like what you're doing in that class yesterday, you was good with the LinkedIn advertising. It's fantastic. You were talking about like just being your true self and how being your true self over a long period of time and doing this strategically, and then looking for the right people and aligning that. Oh my goodness. I know I kind of covered a lot, but we're saying a lot right now, man. Okay. We're saying a lot.
Yeah, well, we had Lisa Nichols on our podcast too about a few weeks ago too.
Yeah, she was on here 3 weeks ago.
Yeah,
3 weeks ago, and that's like that's a big deal for folks who don't know Lisa Nichols. I mean, she's like, to me, she's like Oprah. I mean, in regards to impact and how she is rolling the world and inspiring people. But you know what, Joe? I think you are somebody of the same type of caliber, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because when you show up, right, everybody that knows you or says something about you is like they always say your name with like joy.
Mm-hmm.
It's always like happiness. So that means the impact you're having on everyone you encounter is joy and happiness. Dude, like that's the master key to life. Hello?
Yeah. I wrote a book called High Energy Purpose. I don't know if you guys got a chance to check it out. highenergypurpose.com. It sends you to the Amazon page. One of the things, and I always say I didn't even write the book. The book just came out of me. I had a thought to share, and a thought turned into like a book. And one of the things that I'm really passionate about letting people know that there's a difference between doing and being.
Ooh.
You can be busy doing, but we are not human doings. We are human beings. And there's a very big difference between being able to be present and having an agenda. And you know this in every relationship, whether it's a personal relationship, it's a business relationship. When you are present for somebody, they know. They may not tell you because they are very tactful and classy people.
Yeah.
They know if you're with them or if you're not with them. And if you can be present, if you can truly be present in the moment and really be in the moment, then you have a connection that's way more than just words and ideas. And that's what, that's where joy can come from. Is really, it's very hard to feel joy if you're not present, if you're not paying attention, if you're
that's good. That's so good.
And so if you really want to feel joy, if you really want to feel, then you have to feel. You have to be able to be in the moment to feel the joy. And if we're always thinking about judgment and the future and what's right and what's wrong and all this other stuff, if you're in your head, you're dead.
In your head, you're dead. Dude, you're talking about being in the present. You're saying the moment is now. Like if you're in the past, that you might feel a little depressed because you're thinking too much about if you're too far in the future, you get caught up in anxiety and everything. But this moment right now, the present is the gift, right? The present is the gift. I love that. I found out that Kung Fu Panda said that actually. The present is the gift. Found out that. Yeah. The present is the gift.
Yeah. And the present is the gift because the present is not something that you can predict. You can't predict the present. The present is here. It's not something that you can regret either because it's just here. You can't regret what you have now. You just have it. It's here. You can only regret what you didn't do in the past, and you can only worry about what might happen in the future, but you're not a prophet. So if you really want to succeed, you have to literally be in 100% on what you're doing now. And then from that, you can create anything you want in your life. Dude. From having that laser focus in the now, most people are just not focused. They're split. Like you said, a goldfish is 3 seconds, 7 seconds, depending on the country.
Yeah.
But the key is for you to know that your purpose in life, there's an internal purpose and an external purpose. Most people think that their job is their purpose or their family is their purpose. I believe that those things are secondary purposes.
Ooh.
It's a purpose, but your primary purpose is to be present.
Your primary purpose is to be present. That is the gift. And the way to open it up is to live now.
And to feel the feelings. Now, there are feelings of joy, but then there are also feelings of anger. And some people never want to feel anger. They never want to feel jealousy. They never want to feel boredom. But those feelings are actually action signals. Every feeling we have, and this is important for business owners more than everybody else.
Yes.
Because we're driven by our emotions more than the average Joe. So if you want to succeed in life, you first have to learn about your emotions, because your emotions spur you into action.
Yep.
And if you don't take action, nothing happens. You don't get results from thinking. Knowledge is not power. Action, by applying knowledge, is power. And so understanding your beliefs, understanding your values, understanding your emotions, and if you're bored, if you're lonely, if you're frustrated, if you're angry, if you're jealous, if you're feeling these feelings, you have to feel them and be in them and be with them and understand what action you need to take, what message it's sending you, in order for you to be able to break through and get to joy, get to gratitude, get to appreciation. There's a breakthrough that needs to happen. And sometimes it takes a breakdown to have a breakthrough.
Yeah, that happens to be the way it happens the best, it seems.
Yeah.
You know, it's like you don't get, like, you pain creates the gain, because you get the wisdom from the strain. So that helps you refocus your aim. You feel me?
As long as you don't go insane along the way.
Just like that. Oh, man, that's good. That's good. What is this roadmap behind you we're looking at, man? What is this?
Yeah. So everything that I do has systems and processes. So whenever I have success with doing anything, I try to figure out what are the 3 steps that I took to get to that success. And then I teach it to the people that are important to me in my life. So this is our program where we walk people on how to be successful using LinkedIn Organic. Step number 1 is branding. Step number 2 is building. And step number 3 is booming. Branding is figuring out your strategy. What is your strategy? Who are you targeting? What is your plan? What is the promise, the messaging that you need to put in place? Once you have your foundation in place, then you move on to building. Building is, what are your stories, your content? Have you optimized your profile? What needs to be on there? And then what are your dashboards to measure success? And once you have your assets in place, you have your content calendar, your asset library, you have your stories in place. Next, you move on to booming. Booming is about the 3 things that you need to do. There are 500 things you can do to be successful, but the 3 that are most effective, are the ones that are going to give you the most results. There's one activity that will get you exposure. There's one activity that will get you credibility, and there's an activity that will get you conversations. And those are the results, the benefits that you get as to taking the right actions. And those are the things that we teach people how to do through our course and our coaching program. And if you're consistent and you have accountability and you're using the right strategy, that's when you're going to start seeing traction, and you're going to go from a lurker to an influencer. So this is a visual representation of what we talk about inside our course.
Good stuff.
And you guys do an amazing job. You and Tammy do an amazing job putting that together, man. It really is. If you guys, in fact, we got to share that link. Do you have a link that we could share for people that might be interested in joining that? Because what you guys have done for us, and Rob has really taken full advantage of it. And so I've been utilizing it, and I've been seeing the little tricks that you put in there. Like, okay, now I get it. Now I get
90 tweaks.
Now I'm starting to get it. So, and I'm able to connect with the right people, not just stuff out there. You know, when I look over here and I start seeing the people that are trying to connect with me, literally last time that we talked to you, I think I had not even 9,000 followers yet, 8,000 something. So I've gained like 500 to 1,000 people since I last time talked to you. And it's been easy, you know, and I haven't been as active as I should be, but I've been smart about it. Been using the strategies that you've been having, and it's been working. It's been working. So how can they get a hold of you? I mean, if they want to connect with you on this, what's the best route?
If they go to learnbusinessnetworking.com, they can easily see the offering on there, learnbusinessnetworking.com. Or if they go to my LinkedIn profile, if they go to joelinkedin.com, that's a tip that I always give everybody. Create URLs for the things that are important, that are easy to say on podcasts. So if somebody's like, Joe, how do you pronounce your last name? I'm like, don't worry about pronouncing my last name. Just go to joelinkedin.com, J-O-E LinkedIn.com, and you will see my profile. Simple as that. You can buy Rob LinkedIn. You could buy Will LinkedIn.
Yeah, that is such a simple, tiny fragment of a thought that can go in, out, and just gone. Like with this is over, right? If that little tiny thing though, as you just said, oh my goodness.
Yeah, I'll tell you a secret. I'll tell you what I do sometimes.
Wow.
So let's say I meet somebody at an event. I see somebody at an event, and they're like, "Oh, let's get in touch." And I was like, "No, let's not get in touch. Why don't you look at my LinkedIn profile right now? Look at it right now." And the second they pull up my LinkedIn profile on their computer or their iPhone or whatever it is, I then know who they are because I see it on the people who viewed my profile.
Right.
So the fastest way to get to know somebody is by looking at their LinkedIn profile. So I don't even have to ask them about them. I just say, look at my profile from your phone right now. Or if I'm on the phone with somebody, let's say I'm doing cold calling. Sometimes I like doing cold calling. So I'll click 2nd degree connections. I'll put in an area code and I'll just start calling people just to connect with them and just to kind of keep myself warm. I love improv and I like, I enjoy like trying to see if I can get something out of it.
Mm-hmm.
And often I build relationships with people. They're like, oh, I see you. I know who you are. You're famous. What are you cold calling for? I'm like, I actually am warming up and I'm showing people how to do this. and they're like, just right away. And I was like, check out my profile. Go to joelinkedin.com. And the second they look at my profile, I know exactly what account they're logged into. So that's a very powerful way.
Good.
Getting people to go to your profile
That's good.
will help you identify. So that's why I always tell people on your website, put a link to your LinkedIn profile. So this way, when people visit your LinkedIn profile, you see who visited your website.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. Good tip. Good tip.
Like caller ID.
Caller ID.
That's it.
Put it in your email signature. If you're doing outbound email campaigns, send an email campaign to a list of people and put your LinkedIn URL there. When they click on it, you will know that they clicked on it, but you have their email. You don't have any other information. Now you have their LinkedIn URL.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Very powerful.
Nice. Good stuff, man.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Great
The
stuff.
LinkedIn caller ID thing is people don't understand how to use that. And when you start knowing who looks at your stuff and then you send them a connection request, you start figuring out who they are, you start building a relationship with them. That's how you get in the door. Even our advertising campaign, if you go to ajaxunion.com/advertising, you can sign up to the one on June 2nd, the upcoming advertising workshop. The one that you attended yesterday, I always tell people when you mix advertising and the organic, you get 10 times more out of it. So now I can pay $25 to $35 per qualified lead.
Man, that was
Because
crazy what you were showing yesterday. It makes sense, but you can't just throw money out there. It's not just, oh, I got this money.
You need a strategy. You need a strategy.
Got to do the strategy.
Yeah, that's why if you come to our free workshop, if you go to ajaxunion.com/advertising and you come on June 2nd, you'll see my process. I'll walk you through my scripts.
Dang, June 2nd, that far away?
Yeah, the reason I'm doing it that far away is because I simply looked at my calendar the next couple of weeks and I'm just pretty slammed. I would do it tomorrow, but I'm slammed. There's holidays. There's like stuff going on with the kids. I have 5 beautiful kids. I spend a lot of time with them. I actually I'm going to take them out to dinner in like an hour and 15 minutes. I'm excited about that.
I see you busy, dude. You are a great example of a businessman and a father. Like, I haven't touched you physically, but, been able to virtually stalk around a little bit, So
well, I can give you my address. I think you live nearby. I don't think you live very far from me. So come and touch me.
Hey, look, Joe, what you got, like a 35-inch vertical? This guy, man, got pictures of him jumping on Facebook. I'm like, are you jumping off something?
I put my phone on the floor. Like it has a little kickstand. I put it on the floor, and then I press the timer, and then it goes 0, 1, 2, 1, and then I jump up and split my feet, and then it snaps a photo of me, and then I share that on social media. It's called a jump shot.
This guy got bounced, man. Look, you gotta go look.
It's a lot of fun. So that 1 second gets captured. It's a lot of fun.
I want everybody to take a look at this gentleman here. If you are interested in upping your social media, your advertising, your marketing, you as a content creator, this is a gentleman to help you do it. He has multiple programs that he has and has hosted, but just being around him in the proximity, you're gonna learn something because he's just talking all the time, and every time he talks, wisdom comes out. It's like you see
all the time,
just all over the place.
And not only wisdom, but positive energy. Like he's called in our language and technology is called sticky. He's very sticky.
Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate you guys saying that. I was talking to I have a meditation coach that I'm doing a meditation workshop with. And I was asking her, I said, what if you're around some negative people? What if you're around some people who, are pretty depressed, are pretty sad, are always argumentative? There are people like that. Sometimes they're in your family. Sometimes it happens to be an aunt or an uncle or a nephew or a neighbor or somebody that's always around, and they're always just a little grumpy. So what do you do to raise the vibration? What do you do to raise? So what she said is that humans mirror each other. And you end up just like a plant will mirror you. I don't know if you guys know this, but if you show love to a plant, the plant will feel those emotions and they'll thrive. And if you're nasty to the plant and say negative words, the plant will actually whittle and die. And if you ignore the plant, it'll die faster. So making sure that you keep your vibes high will actually affect the people around you. So I'm very careful to make sure that I control my vibes and keep my vibes really high. And it turns out that people that are less than positive are often allergic to my vibes.
That's so true. I noticed that.
Allergic reaction. Yeah. So they'll run away or they'll try to Debbie down on me, but I'll just keep being myself because I know that other people's opinions
are none of your business.
That's it.
None of your business. I love it, man.
Other people's opinions are none of my business. It's so easy to try to live by other people's opinions. I always tell people, you're either in the stands and you're a fan watching the game, or you're a player. I am a player. I'm in the court, and the opinions of the fans, they don't affect me because I'm in the game. They can like me. They can not like me. They can throw beer cans at me. They can do whatever they want. I'll call security to get rid of them if they throw beer cans at me, AKA the cops. But at the end of the day, I'm in the game and I'm playing the game. And if somebody else has an opinion about my game, it doesn't matter because they're not in the game. They just have an opinion. Everyone has an opinion.
Everyone. That's it.
That's good, man. That's good. Appreciate that.
Success is literally being 100% in the game, knowing where you want to get to, and getting the help that you need. Let me tell you something. When I started my business, I thought that coaches were a waste of time. I thought that if they're coaches, then they obviously don't know how to run a business. But what I found after working with the top coaches that charge thousands of dollars an hour, what I found is that they're the ones that are running $100 million businesses, but they want to be fulfilled. So they're also coaching, because coaching does help you take your own game to the next level. And so that self-limiting belief that I had that coaches don't work stopped me from growing even faster. And when I overcame that, and I joined Vistage, which is an organization that has over 20,000 CEOs globally. Many of the CEOs are doing over $5 million a year in revenue. Some of them are publicly traded companies. So that was my first exposure to a real coach, to a real business coach. And when I joined it and I started seeing the value of my personal development growing, that changed my life. So many of the beliefs that we have, whether it's the belief around getting lucky, my mother always thought that she would get lucky, and that when her business failed, it's that she wasn't lucky. And when I realized that luck is not going to make you successful, strategy will make you successful. Luck just happens to be there because sometimes you get lucky and sometimes you don't get lucky. But if you have the right strategy, you're more likely to get lucky. You're much more likely for it to kind of catch. You can get lucky and light something on fire, but if you add the right ingredients like gasoline, it's more likely that the combustion will happen, right? So having the right strategy is the key. And the other self-limiting belief that I saw my mother have as well was around trust. She didn't trust salespeople. She said, if someone's really good at sales and they work in my business, they're going to take away my business. She didn't trust partners. She had my father be her partner. She had many different things that would stop her from being successful. I found a really great partner that I loved very much. He was my best friend while we were in the business together, and we grew the business. We were just basically falling asleep on the phone together. That's how often we spoke. We would literally just speak. And before I paid myself a salary, I hired a sales rep. And that sales rep was making 100 calls every single day. And our first 100 customers came as a result of my relationships, but mostly as a result of the relationships I built through that sales reps doing outbound cold calls back in 2009, 2008, 2009. So what I tell everybody is that you have to trust. You have to trust people. You have to trust salespeople by having the right systems and processes, by having the right automations, by giving them the right lists, by having the right strategy. Luck itself is not going to make your business or break your business. Even if you're unlucky, if you have the right strategy, you're still going to have progress. You're going to learn something from your lack of luck that you got. And then at the end of the day, the other thing is you have to be able to be versatile. You have to be able to pivot, especially with what's going on with COVID. If something worked yesterday, it doesn't mean it's going to work tomorrow. If something's working now, it doesn't mean it's going to work in a month from now. So being ready and understanding that marketing is about testing, that you always need to be growing and improving. And if you find something that works, stick with it and be consistent. But if it's not working, learn from it and keep growing.
Man, good stuff, Joe.
Very
Joe
good.
Apfebaum, Ajax Union, dropping nuggets. Follow him on LinkedIn. Follow him wherever. Just follow wherever you are. Just find out how.
Yeah, definitely check me out on LinkedIn, joelinkedin.com. I love all the comments. If you're watching the replay, just write replay in the chat later if you're watching the replay, so I see that you watched the replay and we can connect. I love when people leave comments and they engage. So if there's something that I said that was valuable, write what I said as a comment. This way, this post will get a little more action and it'll also ferment in your head. It'll stick a little better. If you write things down, they get stickier. And Will was talking about things being sticky. It's important for things to stick, especially if you get excited from them. Let them stick by writing them down.
That's
Good
it.
stuff. Good stuff.
Any final thoughts, words?
Yeah, so another final thing that I want to say is that a life worth living is a life worth recording.
I like that.
And so if you're not taking photos with the people that you love, take photos with the people that you love. Some people that I meet, I say, when was the last time you took a selfie with your child, with your mother, with your spouse? When was the last time you, and they're like, I don't think I've ever taken a selfie. I don't take selfies. I said, after you lose a loved one, you're going to go back and try to find all the selfies you took with them. And so if you're doing something, don't say, I'm not the type of person that take a selfie. Don't keep your phone on and take pictures of your food every 5 minutes, every time you take a bite. You don't have to do that. You could live and be in the moment, but take a photo. Take a moment to pull out your phone, take a selfie, record the moment. A life worth living is a life worth recording. And if you're frustrated and you need a little more awareness, journal. Sit down, write down the date, the time, write down what you weigh, write down what time you woke up, and write down what your goals are, what your dreams are, what your problems are, what your pain is, what you love, what you enjoy, what you appreciate, and just write your thoughts down. And then later you can go back and see where you were and where you are right now, and you'll either see a tremendous amount of progress and feel joy in your heart, or you'll see that you're moving in the wrong direction and you'll have a strategy to start moving forward because you have that awareness now that you're moving in the wrong direction.
Well said. Well said.
Well said, man.
Somehow we got to do a part 2 sometime, because you just drop so much, man. It's like, every time we talk to you, you drop something new, and it's like you don't repeat yourself, but it's always wisdom.
Thank you. I appreciate that. It's my pleasure. I'd love to do another one in the future. Me and Rob are on WhatsApp. We're going back and forth with the whole WhatsApp thing. So we'll definitely connect on WhatsApp and just, do our thing. And with that, maybe put a little beat on for those that want to hear a little beat. Marketing funnels, the key to success. Marketing funnels, you'll be impressed. Stop making a mess. Work with the best. You got Will and Rob, he's not a snob. He's just the best guy in the world. You get to know him and his world. You see what he's doing, helping 1 billion people stay healthy, get wealthy. Watch this. Leave a comment below. Things are going to blow. Things are going to grow for show.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Yeah. Things are going to grow. Things are going to grow for show. I'm going to do my best. I'll make my body glow. Put out the radiation, the situations. Get away from the frustrations. Motivation. What I see. Can you see me? Get free from the misery. Misery loves company, but misery ain't getting none of me. Can't stumble me, can't crumble me. Give me your cookie. Come on, get it.
He's on fire.
You guys are amazing, man. With that, I'm definitely not gonna put mine in because I don't want to mess up with what's going on right now. But man, it's been amazing. Always is. Like I said, if you're not following Joe right now, you got to follow him. Amazing what he does. A book of knowledge, just and his energy is unreal.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, man, it's always a delight talking to you, man. When we got you on the books again, I was like, right on, man. We got Joe again. Love it, man.
Yeah.
So,
I had such a good time. Thank you, guys. I'll talk to you soon. Bye, everyone.
Peace, brother.
What if there was a way to get more done by using less effort? What if you could eliminate all the mundane, tedious, repetitive daily tasks off your plate? What if you could have more time to do the things you want to do, like customer engagement, branding, and spending more time with those who are important to you, like your team, your friends, and your family? Well, you can, and RPA can do that for you. RPA, Robotic Process Automation, is a technology that is literally transforming businesses overnight, giving you and your staff more time to do more meaningful things. The STA Group will show you how this can be done in less than 30 days and taking less than 5 hours of your time in the process. In that 30 days, you will learn how to identify all the places of your business that can be automated, and the STA Group will show you how. From conversation to activation in less than 30 days. You will only find that right here. You will be ahead of your competition, and you will give your business the opportunity to grow once you learn how to scale through automation. Contact us today for a free 30-minute discovery evaluation, and we'll show you how to transform your business overnight.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
What's up, brother?
That was great. We have about another minute before we have to go off live. I actually had to call the top of the hour. That was amazing, man. Joe's always great. Always, man. It just, I don't know what it is about him, man, but it's always, whenever you mention his name, like you said, it's always positive.
Always positive, dude. Always positive, man. What a great show.
Great show. Well, I have a call in 2 minutes.
Yeah, man. Go do that thing, man. And ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. Thank you for watching, tuning in, and make sure you follow Joe. If you're not following him, definitely do that.
That's it. And also, what we'll do, we're going to end our show by showing you our affiliate program that we're doing with our company, because it's blowing up, it's growing, and we hope to see you guys. Right on, brother. I'll holler at you later. Thank you guys for joining us.
The entire business economy was impacted by the pandemic. Trying to adjust to our new business culture and make the right choices can seem overwhelming. But the need to understand technology and automation today is a must if you want to stay competitive. Companies gain an immediate advantage over their competitors once they understand how to implement RPA into their current activities. Scale through automation has made it easy to gain this knowledge and to implement automation so you can have the time to focus on your business, adjustments, and its growth. This is where STA affiliates can impact their clients' businesses, and fast. Simply share your clients' needs with us, and we'll show you how RPA can create big wins for them in a very short period of time. According to Gartner, over 50% of all businesses will have some sort of RPA implementation by 2027. Don't you think you owe it to your clients to make sure they have this information? The training and support you get through our affiliate program will allow you to make a difference in your client's business while improving your RPA knowledge and receiving a nice residual along the way. Set up a 30-minute affiliate consultation to see how RPA can have an immediate impact on your client's business and your life. We have the blueprint. Join our team.